Hello students, welcome to this new video of the gravitation chapter. So today in this video we are going to start the gravitation chapter. But before we go through the topic, we will discuss some important terms which are related to this gravitation. Now, you may have heard about the Newton's era. Okay, you may have heard about the Newton's era, or you may have heard about the scientist Galileo. So these are the few scientists who has anticipated for the gravitation. They have observed the number of things. Means Galileo has kept the telescope at its window, and he was frequently observing the all the planets which are revolving around the sun. And like that, the Newton has also observed the things like an apple fallen down, and like these things has means he has observed means, and that's what the exactly Newton's era is. So before that, our chapter name is gravitation. So this is the gravitation chapter. So first of all, we will discuss about the how the gravitation was discovered. Okay, so that discovery is known as the Newton's era. So what has happened? Once the Newton had sat under the apple tree. Newton has sat under the apple tree. Suppose this is the earth's surface and this is the tree and this is the Newton. And what has happened when the Newton was sat under the apple tree, suddenly the apple has fallen down. The apple has fallen in downward direction. Now he has got the question, the Newton has got the question, why the apple has fallen in downward direction, not moved in upward direction. Okay, so that's what the question he has having, and from which there is the discovery of the gravitation by the Sir Isaac Newton. After that, he has made a number of experiments based on this, and he has discovered the gravitation. Now the basic terms or the basic phenomenon behind this is the earth attracts each and everything itself, means not actually itself but towards its center, means at the center of the earth. That is nothing but the gravitation, and that's what the reason, if anything which is in your hand, if you left as it is, then it will fall down. The earth will attract that free falling thing towards its center, and that's what nothing but the gravitation. Okay, that is nothing but the gravitation. So in this topic we are going to learn about there will be the type of motion, that is circular motion. There will be circular motion. Okay, so how the circular motion is related to the gravitation, we will learn about that. After that, the most important thing we will learn, that is centripetal force. We will learn about centripetal force. Means centripetal force are related to the circular motion. How does it will create and how it has been, in which direction does it move, we will learn. Now after that, there is one more scientist which has observed this kind of phenomenon, and he has given the laws based over that. He has given the laws, and that laws has been discovered by the scientist Kepler. So those three laws are known as the Kepler's three laws. The Kepler's three laws. So out of that, one by one we will learn its a statement, its a explanation, and the mathematical relation, if there any. So we will learn about that. This is the very simple and very easy topic if you will go in systematic manner. Okay, so there will be after that the Kepler's law. There will be Kepler's law. Kepler's laws will be there. There is first law, second law, and third law. Means all the three laws can be understood by the same phenomenon, by the same you can say with the same example. Means how the planets are revolving around the sun, and how their behavior with respect to the sun, and what is its reason behind that. These things have been explained in this Kepler's three laws. Okay, previous year it has been asked, the Kepler's laws most of the time asked in the exam. It's a statement, Means they may be asked for the state three laws of the Kepler, or there may be the example, or like that if the twice the period of the revolution, if the thrice the radius from the sun to the planet. So like this example we will learn in this topic in a very simple language. Okay, so you will get it very easily. And after that there is Newton's universal law of gravitation. Okay, universal law of gravitation is there. Newton's universal law of gravitation is there, means in which how the two things will be get attracted to each other. In between any two things in this universe there is some amount of force. Okay, we will learn this in detail when the point will be there. Okay, then acceleration due to gravity is there. Then your small g means acceleration due to gravity is there. So we will learn that also. There is derivation for the Newton's universal law of gravitation, and there is acceleration due to gravity, that is g is also there. And how does the g varies? How does the g varies? G means what you may have get what is the value of g. So generally standard value of g is 9.81. okay, 9.81, and there is one more g. Okay, this is small g who's having the value 9.81, and there is one more g, that is capital G. When there will be reference in this point, so we will learn that g also. Okay, so after that there will be few examples, and Newton's equations will be also there. So based on there will be examples. Okay, so this is the simple overview of the gravitation chapter. This is the very simple and very easy chapter to understand, and most of the time 60% from this chapter, means you can say 60% there is asking in the exam. So this is the important one chapter from the exam perspective. So I will just repeat one more time what are the contents we are going to learn in the chapter. So first of all there will be the Newton's era as we have discussed. Then there will be the circular motion. This is the type of motion. We will see its a definition, and we will see its an example from which you will understand very easily. Then there will be the centripetal force also, how the centripetal force will be acted and what are its conditions, that one also we will learn. Then there will be the Kepler's three laws. There are three statements. We are going to understand with the help of diagram, and there will be the problems, if there are any, we will discuss. Then after that Newton's universal law of gravitation. Newton's universal law of gravitation also will be there, so that also we will discuss. Then we will discuss about the acceleration due to gravity, that is small g, and its cases, means it will be what is the value of the acceleration due to gravity at surface of the earth, at the center of the earth, and at some height h. So these are the cases. Those are the very simple cases. I will teach you in the very simple way, so you will get it easily and you will never forget. Okay, from the exam perspective. And the last one is value of capital G. So that capital G will be in the Newton's universal law of gravitation. So these are the contents that we are going to learn in the gravitation chapter. Okay. So these are the important contents that we are going to learn in this gravitation chapter. Now we will first of all we will understand the gravitation term itself. The first term is gravitation. So first of all we will understand what mean by the gravitation is. Now we will understand with the help of one example. Suppose what will happen if you just hold anything in your hand and if you just left as it is, then what will happen? That thing will fall down. Okay, that thing will move in downward direction. Anything that you will hold in your hand, that will move in downward direction. So that is what the exactly gravitation works. Now in short, we can say the gravitation means the earth attracts each and everything towards itself, towards its center, that is nothing but the gravitation. The gravitation means the earth. Suppose this is the earth and this is the center of the earth. So everything that is lying or at a height from the earth's surface get attracted toward the center of the earth. Get attracted toward the center of the earth. Anything at some certain height or the things which are also on the surface of the earth, then it gets attracted toward the center of the earth. So that is the gravitation. That is nothing but the gravitation. So I think you may have heard about the Newton's era. So you may have heard about the Newton's era. We will discuss one more time what is meant by the Newton's era is. Suppose this is the surface of the earth. This is the surface of the earth and this is the one apple tree. This is the apple tree and suppose this is the Newton. Now what has happened when the Newton was sat under the apple tree, then what has happened? The apple has suddenly fall down. The apple has suddenly fall down. Then Newton has observed that thing. Newton observed that thing and he has made some conclusions. He had made number of experiments based on that. He think about that why the apple has not moved in upward direction, why the apple follow in downward direction. So this is the question which arises in his mind, and this is how he has discovered the gravitation. After that he has performed the number of experiments, he has made formulas, observations, and due to which based upon few theories he has discovered the gravitation. Now when there is the talk of gravitation is concerned, there is one more scientist which is Galileo. So Galileo is the scientist who was used to keep the telescope at its window and he was observing continuously. He was studying and analyzing how the planets are revolving around the sun or any planet, how its behavior with respect to the other planet or how they are behaving with each other. That all the thing has been observed by the Sir Galileo. So when there will be the talk of gravitation, so the Sir Galileo has also anticipated a lot during the discovery of the gravitation. But the mainly it is to be considered that this discovery has been made by the Sir Isaac Newton. This discovery has been made by Sir Isaac Newton. Has made this discovery. This is Sir Isaac Newton, and these are the few important scientists who has anticipated for the gravitation, and out of that Sir Newton has anticipated more. So he has given formulas based on that, few theories based on that, and few observations which we are going to learn in this topic. Okay, so now we will this is what we have learned about the background, or you can say the introductory part about the gravitation. Now we will learn the exact contents. We are going to start now the exact contents of the chapter. So now the next article is circular motion. Circular motion. Now there is one force which is called as centripetal force, which deals with the circular motion. That's why it is necessary to learn about the circular motion. But first of all, what mean by the motion? What is mean by the motion? Motion is nothing but, suppose I have covered a specific distance. Suppose I am here at point A. I am here at point A and I just move from A to B. I have covered the 5 meter of distance in the time of 1 minute. So 5 meter upon 1 minute, that will be your motion. or you can say motion means the total distance covered by the particle with respect to time, it is okay. But if we are considering only the distance covered by the particular particle, or the distance covered by the any object or the any person, that is your motion. Now we will understand. Now you have understand what mean by the motion is. Now there are two types of motion. The first one motion is linear motion. The first one is linear motion, and second one is circular motion, which is for your syllabus. But before that, we will learn about the linear motion simultaneously. Now the linear motion means, you may have got that what is mean by linear and circular. Linear means, suppose a particular person is walking in the straight line. Okay, he is not taking turn at any side. He is walking in straight line, and he has been covering the distance. That is the linear motion. Means the distance covered in linear path. Distance covered in the linear path is called as linear motion. The distance covered in the linear path is called as linear motion. Okay, so this is what we have learned about the linear motion. I will repeat one more time. The linear motion means the distance covered in the linear path or in the linear manner, that is linear motion. Okay, now we will learn about the circular motion. Now, as we have discussed about linear motion, that the distance covered, the particle will be covering the distance in the linear path. Now, what will be the circular motion? The circular motion nothing but if the distance is covered in the circular manner. Suppose A is the point and he is moving in this way. And he is covering the distance in the circular manner. From A to it travels at some distance and it has come back to its original path. And that is in the circular manner or in the circular path. That is your circular motion. That is the circular motion. And the speed should be constant. The one more important thing you have to consider, that the speed should be constant. You can say, if the speed is not constant, so the motion will not be possessed as the circular motion, as it will form the elliptical way or the parabolic path it will follow. So for the possessing the circular motion, it is necessary to be the constant speed. Then and then only the circular motion will be possessed. Okay, so this is the circular motion. I hope you have got it. Now we will discuss about, there is one force which is related to the circular motion. So it is the centripetal force. The force name is centripetal force. The force name is centripetal force. First of all, I will explain you theoretically, then I will explain with the help of diagram. So you will get it very easily. Now the centripetal force, now we have understand what mean by the motion, then we have understand what mean by the linear motion, then we have turned towards the circular motion. We have understand with the help of statement and with the help of diagram also what mean by the circular motion. Then we will move towards the centripetal force. Now centripetal force is the force which is acting over the component which is revolving around the circular path and which is directed toward the center. Okay, so this is the definition of the centripetal force. I will repeat one more time. After that I will explain on the board. Now the centripetal force means the force which is acting over the component or the object which is moving in the circular manner or in the circular path and which is acting towards the center. that is the centripetal force. Now I will explain you with the help of diagram for your convenience. Now suppose I have a string in my hand. Suppose I have one string in my hand, and the other end of the string, suppose I am here, I am at point A, okay, and this is the string in my hand, and the other end of the string is tied with the stone. Means other end of the string is tied with the stone, and I am revolving that string. In the circular manner. This is me, and this is the string I have held in my hand, and the other end of the string is tied with the stone, and this is revolving in the circular manner. So what will happen? For being the centripetal force, it is necessary to possess the circular motion. This is the first case. Now what will happen if the stone will be released? Then what will happen? The stone will be thrown in outward direction. Means there is one tension which is directed toward the center. There is one tension in the string which is directed toward the center, and that tension or that force which holds the stone to the string, that is nothing but your centripetal force. I will explain one more time. First of all, I will explain the same term, that is circular motion. I will explain one more time. Suppose the object or any you can say object revolving in the circular manner with the constant speed, that is called as circular motion. Now the next one is the centripetal force. The centripetal force means the object which is revolving in the circular manner with the constant speed, and having the constant speed, and the force which acts towards the center, directed toward the center, that force is nothing but the centripetal force. I will write the definition first. I think there is no need to give the definition of the circular motion because it is the easiest one. You can write it down by your own self. I will repeat the definition. The motion of an object which is revolving in the circular manner, that is called as circular motion. Now I will write the definition of the centripetal force. Centripetal force means the force which is acting on an object, which is revolving in circular manner, and directed toward the center. Directed towards the center. So this is the definition of the centripetal force. I will read for your better convenience. Now the force which is acting on an object, there is the force. Centripetal force means it is the one kind of force which is acting over the object which is revolving in the circular manner and which is directed toward the center. That is your centripetal force. That is nothing but the centripetal force. So this is the definition of centripetal force. Now we have covered the 2 points. The first one is circular motion. Okay. Then after that we have discussed and explained about the centripetal force, and I have given the definition also. Now what will be the combined example of the circular motion and the centripetal force? Do you have any guesses? The bicycle or the wheels of your the wheel of your bicycle or your vehicle, that is the one of the example, perfect example of the circular motion, perfect example of circular motion. And if you understand sorry, if you observe, the force is directed towards the center. Okay, so that is the example. The wheel is the example of circular motion and the centripetal force. And one more example which is common, have you ever visited to the carnivals in your villages? I think all of you might have visited. Now, have you seen the merry-go-round? So the merry-go-round is also example of circular motion and the centripetal force. Okay, so first one example is wheel of your vehicle, then the merry-go-round. These are the two perfect examples which demonstrate the circular motion and the centripetal force. So this is what we have learned about the circular motion and the centripetal force. Now after that we will see the next part. So students, till now we have discussed in the gravitation chapter is the first one was the Newton's era. I will explain one more time so you will get it very easily. First one we have explained about the Newton's era. Okay, Newton's era we have explained. That I will explain one more time. Those students, few of you may have understand very easily and few of you may having little bit of time to understand, and some of you having the mentality that still those who have not understand, I will explain for them also. Now what happens in the Newton's era? So as far as the Newton's era is concerned, the Newton's era means there is one incident which has happened with the Newton. Okay, Newton was sat under the apple tree. Newton was sat under the apple tree. So this is the tree, this is Newton, and the apple has fallen downward direction, and the Newton has got the question that why the apple has not moved in upward direction, why the everything which is lying over the surface, or everything which is live or which is left from at height of the surface, then why it is attracted toward the earth. So from that question he has given the number of theories, observation, and he has analyzed the things like that, and he had made the experiment, and from which he has given the term gravitation. Okay, so this was the Newton's era. Now after that we have discussed about the circular motion. After that we have discussed about circular motion. We have discussed about circular motion. But before that, before we move toward the circular motion, we have discussed what mean by the motion. So the motion is nothing but the distance that you have been covering. Suppose you have covered the distance from your home to your school. Okay, that is the motion. That is the motion. Now there are two types of motion. Basically there are a number of types of motion, but basically there are two types of motion. The first one is the linear motion. First one is linear motion. Suppose the particle A which is moving from A to B and the path is linear, so we can say this is the linear motion. This is the linear motion. So exactly in the same way, the second one is circular motion. Second one is circular motion. Now as you have got now, in the linear motion the path has been covered, the path is linear. So exactly in the same way, in the circular motion the path will be circular, so the motion will be in the circular manner. So that is the difference. In the linear motion the path is in the straight line, and in the circular motion the path is in the circular manner. So these are the two differences from we can easily differentiate the linear motion and the circular motion. Now, but the most important thing that you have to keep in the mind is if you want to possess the circular motion, then the motion of the object should be the speed which of the object which is revolving in the circular manner should be constant. Okay, so these are the motion that we have discussed, we have studied, and I have discussed. Now we have only the circular motion for our syllabus. Now based on this circular motion there was one more force. There was one force that we have discussed. That force I will discuss one more time, that so you will get it very easily. Now the force that we have to discuss is the centripetal force. Is centripetal force. That force is nothing but centripetal force. I will explain one more time with the help of diagram. Suppose this is the circular path which is followed by the particular thing, and this is the center. Now suppose this is the object which is revolving in the circular manner. Now as you can say, the object is revolving in the circular manner. And one more thing we have to point, that what will happen if we release this object? Then what will happen? This object will move in tangentially. The object will be moving in the tangentially. Okay. So this is the thing which will happen if we release this thing. Okay. Or release the object. Now this force, the centripetal force, will be directed toward the center. So in this direction, this tension. So this will be the direction of the force. Okay. So how we have defined the centripetal force? So the centripetal force we have defined as the force which is acting on the object which is revolving in the circular manner and which is directed toward the center. So that is the centripetal force. So that is nothing but the centripetal force. This is how we have discussed, this is how we have defined the centripetal force. I hope you have understand all the things, because the part from the beginning I have explained one more time for the students, those who have still not understood. Now we are going to move further in this point. Okay. Now students, the next part of this gravitation chapter is Kepler's law.